Hey, Jack. All right. You got the stuff?
Yeah. All cleaned in oil.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's get it on.
Who are these guys?
It's my theme music. Every good hero should have some.
Missouri, the one, the only, Keith Montgomery.
Excuse me, can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
You know, out of everything in my life that I thought I would have accomplished by now, having my own theme music, I never thought that would actually be on the list. But I want to thank my buddy, my brother, Gary, for that one. Yeah. Wow. Let me just go ahead and bring everybody else in. But wow is all I can say. John Martin, I gotta say, man, guys, I gotta say, Disney is just, please, to the shareholders and executives, put me in charge.
Yeah.
Put me in charge. I think I'm ready to go. First, just let me say hello to everybody in the chat. Penny and Mr. Tickle Trump, member for 21 months. Oh, wow. And oh, wow. Anima Confusa. Dragon Ruse. Das Wolfen, member for 21 months. And Shinatsky. And Mr. Tickle Truck, $3 super sticker. Right out the box.
Yep. So the pair giving us the thumbs up.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Trunk.
We're going to have to get him something nice. It's the beginning of the program.
I gotta get me one of those.
Wow.
That was a jinx moment for me, from me. In the theater, I said exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Wow. Shinatsky, Bird, Hollywood Bird. I got way too many friends that work in the industry. You know, I'd like there to be an industry. I just am not in agreement with some of the decisions that have been made. And again, personally for me, I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what your religion is. Ultimately, this is not show friends. This is
show business.
That's right. Show business. And I was just telling a friend of mine early this morning that we are living out the part that will be at least a big chapter in every college textbook about what not to do.
He chose one.
And there's multiple people that statement would be true of.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here talking about Disney today, but there are multiple people. In fact, I think a future show we're just going to go ahead and give everyone our top 10 list of the top 10 people that brought us to this very point right here. And there have been a lot of them. Some of them you've forgotten about, but there have been a lot of them and a whole lot of honorable mentions. First, anybody here actually own Disney stock? Anybody in the chat? Anybody? Oh, D-Bud Martin. Good morning to you.
D-Bud.
Because I know I don't own any. I would be livid right now. Of course, I would have been mad for several months.
Do you know who owns a couple of those?
I actually know one person that owns Disney stock.
Yeah, Lucas.
Yeah, he's not too happy.
No. There's no way. There's no way he can be happy.
There's no way a lot of people can be happy at this point. You know, Shanatsky. You know, the thing about Alex Kurtzman is, yeah, you really can't put him up there multiple times. And as much as I am not a fan of his, let me just say, I only need to put him up there once. But his boss, I could put him up there multiple times because I think he's done more to damage entertainment over the last 5 to 7 years than any other person. You know, he's got his fingers in almost everything. And remember, we still have yet to see his Superman movie. Some people keep forgetting there are 2 Superman films now, neither of which are in production. Although now force majeure may allow Warner Brothers to get out from under that of one of them.
That would be nice.
It would be. It would be nice if they could just get out from under a lot of things, you know, at Warner Brothers. I would love to be able to tell people that force majeure allows Warner Brothers to just basically magically get back in business with Henry Cavill and let him be Superman. Nothing against Cornswith, because that, again, I think having your dream of becoming the hero of all heroes, that's big, you know, and there aren't too many people who get an opportunity to have that. Although almost daily within show business, a few people have that snatched away from them, you know. And Star Trek is worse because one certain person had that dream taken away from them and replaced with Alex Kurtzman. Gold star for the day if you can figure out who that is. But
that would be, was that Ronald Moore?
Ronald Moore? No. Ronald Moore was off doing Battlestar Galactica by then.
I guess so. Yeah, he got screwed over before that.
He got screwed, but this person got screwed worse than Ronald Moore.
Enlighten us, please.
His name's on every title for whenever they have the title card show up, opening credits of Discovery. He's forced to live that hell for every episode. Brian Fuller.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about him.
He's also a good friend of R&B's.
Yeah.
Again, if you're someone of the Alphabet Nation, you got to understand CBS has been proudly flaunting the fact that they screwed that guy over. So I will continue to go at them for that, because go ahead.
And Cal, it's not our fault. I know all roads lead to Star Trek, but we didn't bring it up. Someone else did.
Anyway, well, let's go through and recap basically what happened yesterday. Disney Corporation had...
No, there is too much. Let me sum up.
Disney Corporation had their earnings call, and third quarter. And while it wasn't exactly the world is coming to an end, it wasn't exactly the best news. And for all those who are holding on to Disney stock, you know, your roller coaster ride continues. But we, for those of us who don't own stock, we're pulling for you. We hope that eventually the nightmare will be over. But yeah,
Well, the stock is up 3.2% right now. It's back above 90.
good. That's a positive advancement up.
Yeah.
I mean, things couldn't have really gotten any worse, could it?
Well, yeah. I mean, if people would have paid attention, the stock should be going down, not up.
Good point.
But Disney managed to soft sell everything and hide a lot of things in some couch things in language that didn't make it seem as bad as it really is.
Well, which is what they're paid to do.
Yeah.
That could be I'm sorry. That could be an indicator that they really want to sell. They are trying to beautify their image, so they do not appear to. No, I'm selling this broken company. No.
Mm. Well, here's what keeps getting brought up, because I got brought up a lot yesterday, and I'll repeat what I heard, which is, well, if that truly is the case, who are you going to sell it to? Because nobody can buy it in its entirety.
Well,
Actually, there's one entity that can.
oh yeah,
There is one entity that can technically pay for all of it,
Yeah.
but they wouldn't be allowed to hold it all.
how so?
You can't already own something that you would then buy something else that also has it. In other words, like they're talking about selling ABC. Well, Universal can't buy ABC.
Oh no, I was
because they
talking about
already
Apple.
own-
Apple's the only one
Oh.
that has the cash that could buy Disney.
Apple could, but that doesn't mean that everything that Disney has is something that Apple would be able to buy. I mean, would be able to legally be able to hold on to. They're going to have to, no matter what, they're going to have to sell off some assets.
Oh yeah.
You know, you're not going to be able to buy Disney whole unless you have Apple money, but you've never invested or bought anything that big before. That's the only other way I can see buying Disney total without breaking anything up.
Yeah.
So Apple really could, but they're too busy doing their own thing. I mean, it's less costly, less headaches if they just develop their own stuff rather than having to acquire it by buying Disney. personally, I think Disney's just going to have to sell off a few things anyway and try to be a little smaller in certain areas. We need to wait to see how everything shakes out with the new and improved Lucasfilm that's on the way. And see whether or not Kevin Feige can turn Marvel Entertainment around.
That would be a no.
You and I would think so. But, anything's possible. Personally, as I've said before, I would like to see them put someone else in charge of Marvel Studios. In other words, keep Kevin in charge of Marvel Entertainment as a whole, but put someone else in charge of Marvel Studios. And again, this whole thing with not hiring fans, you need to get the blank over that. Seriously.
Oh yeah.
That was not the understanding, nor the deal, nor how you actually conducted yourselves from phases 1 to 3. If you want to get back to making money, you need to have fans of the comics being placed in positions to make things, because the way you're doing things now, it's not working. Again, that is the real reason why DC Entertainment hasn't done very well, is because you've had executives in charge that think that they know better. That is the difference between DC Entertainment and Marvel Entertainment. Marvel, up until a few years ago, and by a few, I mean a little over 10 years ago, Marvel was a entertainment company / publisher who decided to start their own studio because they were unhappy with the way that different studios were treating their IP. So when they started Marvel Studios and started making all those movies, you got to look at it from the point of view of a brand new studio who started working and creating and putting things out, versus Warner Brothers, who had owned DC Comics since the 1970s. And they didn't see it as all as one thing. They saw it as just another thing that they owned amongst all the other things that they owned. So they treated all of the IPs as individual properties rather than as one massive property known as DC. And when you have that in your mind and the way that you do things, you have a tendency of treating things differently. Anyway, let's see. Wolverine 626. I'm going to go ahead and take that question. Let's see. What about Staggs and Myers, Candle Media, and their backer acquiring Disney? You know what? That would be something, Wolverine. That would be something. Yeah.
I have no idea. Do you know who the backer is?
Who is?
The backer for Staggs and Myers Candle Media. Who is it?
I don't have any idea.
I don't either, but unless it's Apple, they don't have the deep pockets necessary to acquire Disney.
Well, I mean, they are backed by Blackstone.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
Well, Blackstone's got the okay. Yeah, Blackstone does have the money.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's. I think, look, when you have that kind of money backing, you can pretty much do whatever you want. It might be, if I were those guys and I had that kind of backing, I'd just consider buying a piece of it rather than the whole thing.
Well, Blackstone already owns a chunk of Disney.
Yeah, they already invested.
Or BlackRock.
Or BlackRock, yeah.
BlackRock does. But I would, for instance, how about this one? Instead of them going through the headache of buying Disney, buy a piece of it. And in this particular instance,
BlackRock owns 4.09% of Disney.
I would say that Candle Media, I'd say just Candle Media go out and just buy Pixar or buy Lucasfilm. You know?
Yeah.
And while it does sound like you could do a lot with ABC, networks are becoming very passe at this point. You know, yeah, you'd be better off buying either Pixar or Lucasfilm. Because if you owned, say, Lucasfilm, that would you would then have an opportunity to be able to hire whoever you wanted. Personally, I'd let Disney just go ahead and clean house on that one, you know, and then see if you can get them to sell it. Because if it is true that Kathleen Kennedy has been involved in some things that are kind of not legal at this point, you don't want to get in the middle of that. You want to let that one play out. And again, she's got 18 months. You know, she's there for another 18 months. As soon as she's officially gone and a good portion of her people are gone with her, buy it, then clean house some more. Root out every single person that she brought in. And if you can, bring back 1/4 of the people who had worked for George Lucas prior to Disney buying it, and then bring in a bunch of college students and tell Lucasfilm, we're going to take 2-3 years out. We're going to learn how to run this company properly. And then make a deal, make a distribution deal either with Disney or Warner Brothers or somebody, and start making Star Wars movies and other media again. Anyway, Wolverine. Split Disney between the parks and the film TV divisions minus the networks. But that's an interesting idea.
And the hotels and the cruise lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, didn't you say you... Oh, go ahead.
We have another super sticker from Darius Munchausen, this time for $4, and it's again the pair. And exactly. And for that and the previous one, I have this for you.
For that, you get the head, the tail, the whole damn thing.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. Shinatsky says, I won't believe Kennedy is gone till she is. And even then, is she still on the premises? She's not on the premises. She's not even allowed on the premises. That is the big one. She's not allowed. I don't even think she's been able to pack up her office. At this point, I don't even think they're going to have her do anything until they, her and her lawyers have negotiated. But I think they're really I think Disney's going to play hardball, I think, for the next 17 months.
Well, many criminal organizations are run from prison. So her physical presence in the campus is not necessarily relevant.
You know,
Oh, great Odin's Raven.
Darius Munchausen, there you go, my man. You know, again, in dealing with this friend of mine who I was talking to this morning, he's not kept up with a lot of the news and information that we've had. So me relaying just some of the news that has come out about her and the things that she's done were a great surprise to him. I think there are some people that just either don't believe, don't understand, or just will not believe at all until they have her do a perp walk. You know, until they march her out in cuffs.
Yeah.
Well,
It's, it wasn't. I mean, she was on campus for that meeting with Iger.
That was earlier. She's not been back on the premises since Indiana Jones came out.
Oh, I thought that was I thought there was a recent meeting with them.
No. Well, I mean, with Iger is one thing, but Lucasfilm, no.
Yeah. Well, I was just talking about Iger and Kennedy having a meeting.
Yeah, but not too recently. He hadn't seen her in quite a while. It's from what I've heard, her lawyers and the Disney lawyers have already met, and she has already. Well, her lawyers have already put out the opening. They've already made it understood what she's willing to take. Of course, that was the opening of negotiation.
Yeah.
And if even half this stuff is true, realistically, she's not negotiating from a position of strength at all. And again, her golden parachute, her retirement money was tied into the performance of Indiana Jones. She's not getting that.
Nope.
So now, John, you said you had a couple articles.
I've got 5 articles.
Let's go ahead and get those. Let's see. What articles from what media outlets do you have them?
Okay, from Yahoo. That's about the streaming. Let's go with CNBC. Disney
let's do that one.
Mixed results for quarter plagued by streaming woes, restructuring costs.
Okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and post that one so that everybody can get a chance to see what we're referring to. Let's see. Hey, Dead Man Walking. Hell. Okay. Sarah
Witten.
Witten? Okay. Cool.
This was published last night or yesterday afternoon. It was just updated 37 minutes ago.
Cool.
Thank you, Darius, for being good. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's but yeah, it's Disney Post mixed results for its fiscal third quarter despite ongoing streaming woes and massive restructuring costs resulting from pulling content from its platforms. Subscriber losses continued over the last 3 months, with the company reporting 146.1 million Disney Plus subscribers during the most recent quarter, a 7.4% decline from the previous quarter and a larger loss than Wall Street expected. Now, here it is. The majority of the subscriber loss came from Disney plus Hotstar, where the company saw a 24% drop in users after it lost out on the rights to the Indian Premier League cricket matches. Now they lost. Looking at the raw numbers, they lost 12 million subscribers from India.
Mm-hmm.
Now, keep in mind, from India, they only get like $1 or something for each. That's only worth about $1 for each subscription. So that's not a lot of money. But it sounds bad if you just say, well, we lost 12 million subscribers in India.
The thing is that subscriber loss due to a specific thing or just
well, it's because they didn't get the streaming rights for the cricket league. If they would have got the streaming rights, if they would have won that bidding, then they would have been fine. But the problem is now that they don't have the streaming rights, well, that was a big chunk of why people got Disney Plus in the first place, because they had the streaming rights before.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So anyway, to continue. Facing dwindling users and falling revenue in its media and entertainment distribution segment, Disney announced Wednesday that it would raise the price on its ad-free streaming tier in October and would crack down on password sharing as streaming rival Netflix did earlier this year. Shares of Disney gained 4% on extended trading on Wednesday after news of the streaming updates. They got an additional 3-something% this morning. They were hovering around 90. Anyway, moving forward, I believe the 3 businesses that will drive the greatest growth and value creation over the next 5 years, CEO Bob Iger said on the company's earnings call. There are film studios, our park business, and streaming, all of which are linked to our brands and franchises. Here are the key numbers. They had a EPS of 1.03 per share adjusted versus 95 cents per share adjusted, which is more than they expected to get. They were down not much. It was 22.33 billion versus 22.5 billion expected. And like I said, they lost the 7% of off Disney subscriber totals. So basically why this was a mixed bag was because they didn't lose as much money. The parks made more revenue despite reduced attendance because of the increase of prices. And they didn't lose as much on streaming as they expected. So they only had a net loss of 460 million this quarter, which is a loss, but not what they were expecting.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that may be creative accounting.
What? The magic Hollywood accounting? No way.
Yeah. Yeah, it says the one bright spot for the company was its parks, experiences, and products division, which saw a 13% increase in revenue to $8.3 billion during the quarter. Disney saw strength at its international parks, while domestic parks, particularly Walt Disney World in Florida, saw a slowdown in attendance and hotel room purchases. Similar slowdowns were seen by Comcast Universal theme parks in Florida. So that may, that slowdown may not have anything to do with Disney. It just may be, the cost of taking a trip to freaking, spending $2,000 is not affordable for most families.
Wow.
But yeah, this is where, here's the stuff about the film. Iger said the company would be looking to improve the quality of its studio films, as well as reduce the number of release titles and the cost per title. His comments come as Disney struggled to gain traction with audiences at the global box office in recent months. while Avatar: The Way of Water and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 have generated more than $3 billion globally, 2.2 of which was Avatar. Other films have not performed as expected.
Let's stop right there. Wait. Let's stop right there. Okay. Now, there is something that I have to help everyone understand about this, though. Avatar: The Way of Water is not a quote-unquote Disney movie. It's a property that they were able to acquire because they purchased Fox.
Yeah.
It is a James Cameron film because Cameron is the main guy who did the whole thing with that. This is through his company. So Cameron gets to keep a lot of that money. Disney just gets money for distributing the film. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. And Guardians of the Galaxy 3, well, yeah. The way Iger talked during all of this, he was bringing up all of the money that they had been able to make. Here's what I had pointed out earlier that really needs to be re-emphasized, okay? You had a brand new studio. And out of the box, they're pretty much making money. The first Iron Man didn't make that much money, comparatively speaking. But every film thereafter just started hitting.
Yeah.
And they went on this huge winning streak where they were averaging $1 billion for every film. A streak that came to an end once we got to the end of Endgame, which was the end of phase 3, excuse me.
Yeah.
Everything that they've done since then has been a struggle or is only associated with them through some sort of contractual obligation. The Spider-Man films, those are all Sony.
Yep.
Okay. Marvel Studios is making them, but they're all Sony movies. And of course, you know, any other films that Disney might have, I mean, again, you're talking their biggest recent successes have not really been something that they've generated. So, and he knew that. Iger knew that. You know, he was trying to basically deflect a little bit.
Oh, but, a lot.
Okay, a lot. I still have a lot of respect for the guy. You know, he does have game. It's just the fact that he's torn between two different things. He's torn between his ideology and his ability to be a successful businessman. That's really his problem at this point. Because if Iger weren't there and we were talking about, say, I don't know, David Zaslav.
Yeah.
It'd still be a slightly different thing because Zaslav would have to answer to the board. But if Zaslav had purchased Disney, then this would be a different story with Zaslav. He'd just come in and just start firing people.
Yeah.
Left, right, center. He would do exactly what he did with Warner Brothers. You know, we're here to make money. Now, if you're here to influence people, that's fine. You can influence all the people you want on the other side of that gate without your job.
Yeah.
Let's see. Socks. Doctor Strange 2 made $950 million. That was a hit and not a bomb at all. It was a hit, yes. But the amount of money spent on Doctor Strange, turns out they had to readjust how much they told people they spent on that money. I mean, on that movie.
Yep.
I think they were talking about that on WDWPRO, that they came out with an article within the last 3 weeks. And it had to do with the fact of where they filmed the movie. And so they came out with the actual numbers. And it turns out that Disney had lowballed those numbers a little bit. So when you increase the amount of money, that shrinks your profit.
Yeah, basically, it
basically
ended up just breaking even, just a little, making maybe a little bit of profit, but not
a little tiny bit of profit. Yeah. And when you start doing stuff like that, man, who does that remind me of? Who does that? Oh yeah, this is exactly what happened with Fox.
Yep.
Before the end, you had people try. Oh, the X-Men movies are doing great. Oh, they're not that bad. Oh. Yeah, it turns out, again, as I and others were saying, when you look at how much money they were actually spending to make what they were making, okay?
Then the amount of marketing.
And the amount of marketing and everything else, what you're left with is a dwindling profit. So, hold on. John, could you take over for a moment?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, as he was saying, it's once you figure in production cost and market, they don't have as much of a profit as they thought they did originally. And same thing with as he was saying with the Fox movies, that they weren't taking a lot of, when people say, oh, well, it made money, but they didn't take into account, it's something like 2.8 times the amount of the production cost plus the cost of the marketing in order to break even, because of all the extra stuff going on. And so when you figure that in, there's not a lot of movies that have broke even this year from any studio. You know, you have some bright spots like obviously like the Super Mario movie, and then a freaking Barbie of all things. But you know, that's well in the profit. And movies like Sound of Freedom, that's making, you know, $100 million plus in profit, just because of the low cost of the production, and then the low cost of marketing, because they depended more on word of mouth, because they weren't able to get a lot of traction from marketing, because there wasn't a whole lot of marketing involved. But if we look at you know, going back to the article, Elemental cost $200 million to make and only made $423 million.
Well,
and that's not enough. That doesn't count. That $200 million does not count marketing cost, because they blitzed the heck out of Elemental marketing. Same thing with Indiana Jones. They spent a ton on marketing that.
Yep.
And it cost around $300 million to make, and it only made $369 million. So yeah, right there, that's definitely a huge negative. I think somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 million.
I think so. Hold on. Let me run that. Hold on. I think I can get you those actual numbers.
Okay.
Because if I can just get, there we go.
Exactly right. No.
Yep.
This.
Yeah, they spend way too much on these movies to than they're worth. I mean, you know, it's beating a dead horse, but you know, Keith has brought up Black Widow a lot of times, and it could have been shot for 60 or 70 million. Not the 250 million that it cost him, or 200 million. and and it would if it would have been shot for the 65, 70 million, it would have made profit. They didn't need to turn Black Widow into a superhero. They didn't need all that effects. It should have been a tighter film, a spy film, something on the lines of Bourne Identity or the John Wick films, because that's what the character is. But anyway, that's an argument for another time. But yeah, basically, it boils down to they're spending too much money on these movies to make any profit.
And then you had to count in the reshoots and the 5 alternative endings to show to audience. Man,
Okay. Elemental had a production budget reportedly of $200 million.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find the marketing budget, but given what they had, they took some money away, I heard. So let's just say they had an additional 150 in marketing. Okay. So that's $350 million. Okay. Doubled. That's how much it needed to make to break even.
Well, it's 2.8%. It's 2.8 times for breaking even.
Okay.
Because there's a bunch of hidden costs like the distribution costs and especially when you're dealing with overseas stuff, and you got to remember they only get like 35 or 45% of the amount of the overseas box office in the first place.
Yeah.
So that's why you take it times 2.8% to adjust for all that information.
So the movie made $423 million.
Yeah.
Still far, far below what it needed.
Yeah, it needed to make around $700 million to break even.
And
I don't even want to think. It's like Dial of Destiny had to get close to $1 billion to break even.
Oh gosh, that was an S show of epic. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. I know it's gonna tick off a lot of certain people who want to celebrate this, but the reason why they have to, whenever they talk about The Flash, how they have to sort of couch it within the fact of being the worst film as far as comic book movies, because they can't call it the worst film of the year. That title right now belongs to Indiana Jones.
Yep.
The amount of money that they spent on that is just wow.
Obscene.
I mean, that's the word. Look, when your budget, your base cost that you spent is enough to afford to make all 4 John Wick movies.
Yeah.
You're going down the wrong road. Now, according to the numbers, they're only admitting to $300 million.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will say that based on what WDWPRO and Valiant Renegade and everyone from Andre and Tom over at Midnight's Edge, they will tell you that's not exactly the real number.
No.
But they're saying the production budget was $300 million, and that's not counting marketing. Okay. But to give you an example, if the amount of money that you've made is the same amount as your production budget, your movie's a failure.
Yeah.
According to the numbers, a $300 million budget and a box office worldwide of $369 million.
Yeah.
let me just say this.
That's
Kingdom
a
of the
loss.
Crystal Skull. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull didn't even have numbers that bad. They would, Kathleen Kennedy would kill to have the box office of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah. She might have been able to argue that COVID's the big reason why that this cost spiraled. So if she would have had that kind of numbers.
This is epic. This meltdown theatrically of Disney films and of the stuff they've had on streaming has been monumentally bad. One of the things that the writers are trying to fight for is they want to know what the actual streaming numbers are. So let me help everybody out there, okay? History has shown that while it is good to know what the numbers are, the creation of our network television entities basically made it so that you had, to put those numbers out there so that you can decide what to charge advertisers for advertising those programs that are shown on network television. They never had that kind of deal for streaming. Now, one company has to express or tell anyone what their actual numbers are. That makes it difficult for people who actually work for them to know exactly how successful something was. So these companies can make up whatever they want and pay everyone that worked on it accordingly. And if you have a deal to get paid a certain amount based on how well something does, we've seen this happen with movies all the time. Where in the case of, say, what happened with Peter Jackson and Lord of the Rings, having to sue the studio, who was trying to say that those films didn't make very much money. And the studio was bundling in all of the money lost on other films to redo the books to make it seem like they had actually lost money on those films.
Inconceivable!
I know, right? I know. These are just some of the tricks that studios do to hide numbers. And since streaming is relatively new, think of what they're doing to hide those from you. It's only in certain weird instances that we get a glimpse at how successful some things are.
Like when Netflix built the T on how much Discovery was losing.
Star Trek Discovery, yeah. When Star Trek Discovery first hit and they were producing all those commercials talking about how successful they were, what people didn't understand was all of Kurtzman Trek, what I like to lovingly call K-Trek, all of that stuff was and still is carried by Paramount here in the United States, here in North America. Outside of North America, they had no distribution deal. So they had to find someone to distribute the show.
Yeah.
So they did a deal with Netflix. Netflix ended up having to pay the money that they paid to distribute the show, paid for the first season of Discovery. So when Paramount and everyone connected to K-Trek was happy in the media talking about how successful they were, Netflix kind of slyly let it be known that, hey, this Umbrella Academy thing we got is incredible. It's great. It's great numbers here. All these other shows we're showing, oh man, Stranger Things, oh, people love this stuff. Oh, Star Trek Discovery, it's got to be the worst performing thing we've ever put out.
Yep.
And let me tell you, they weren't talking about just one country. It was overall. Nobody's watching the show.
Nope.
So think about the reaction of fans here in North America, and then understand that nobody outside North America was watching the show.
Yeah. The biggest description of K-Track?
That is one big pile of shit.
Oh. Tell us how you really feel.
Well, I mean, it's nothing personal. I mean, it's business. And
Yeah.
Netflix, look, from what I heard, Netflix was upset, I should say, within about 3 episodes. Oh, and you heard about the whole short treks thing that they were doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an attempt by Alex Kurtzman to get more money out of Netflix, because he figured, hey, the show will be so successful, fans will want these little short things that they can't live without, and you guys can just pay for this and put those on, and those will be even more successful. Well, Netflix didn't want to pay for those. He tried everything he could think of to get Netflix to pay for that. They didn't. Eventually, CBS had to bite it on the cost of those short treks because he couldn't get anybody to pay for it, which is the reason why they stopped doing them.
Yep.
And just to finish out the rest of that story, the first season of Picard was bankrolled by Amazon, if I remember. So either Amazon or Apple, one of the two. And even they were upset.
Yeah.
Because they felt like they got tricked. The entirety of the new Trek experiment, outside of whatever Paramount streaming tells you, has been a disaster. And when they put Star Trek Discovery on CBS television, it got beat by reruns of game shows.
Yeah.
You want to know what else beat it? The worst television show on network television beat it. Batwoman. It got beat by episodes of Batwoman.
That's gotta hurt.
So,
yeah.
Those of you who love Kurtzman Trek, love it. I have nothing against you at all. Enjoy your show. But I'm telling you right now, this whole thing with all these multiple streamers, it can't last at this point.
It's a house of cards built on sand.
That's right. Eventually, somebody's got to fall. And right now, everybody's money is on Paramount. If Paramount goes down, they're going to need to find someone to take over all this stuff. They're going to need to try to find a way of distributing all this stuff. If nobody wants any of the Star Trek stuff they're doing, that's it. That is all.
The only thing that may save them is the Taylor Sheridan stuff.
No. Oh,
you don't think
I mean, as far as bringing in money, yeah. It won't save Star Trek.
No, I'm not talking about Star Trek. I'm talking about Paramount as a whole.
No. Paramount has a deal with Peacock. Also.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's right, and they're making money from that.
I forgot Paramount gets first look.
That's right. Paramount can still go out of business. Paramount can still lose it all. And Peacock is not dumb enough to take any of the Star Trek or Kurtzman Trek shows, I should say.
Oh no.
They'll take Star Trek. They'll take Star Trek. They'll take all the Bourbon Trek shows. Good luck with them taking any of the K-Trek stuff.
Yeah.
That's radioactive, kids. Boom.
Yeah. But to go back to Disney,
yes,
there's another reason why that their stock's going up and not down right now. And that's because ESPN made a deal with Penn Entertainment, and they're creating a sports booking channel and site for sports gambling. And that earned them the deal's worth $2 billion from Penn Entertainment. Penn Entertainment paid basically $2 billion for the rights to use the name ESPN on a sports booking channel.
Yep.
So they started with alcohol in the parks, and now they're going to gambling.
Yep.
Nice. A family company.
Yep. And
what's this? Hold on. Whoa. Have we already posted? Hold on. Let's go ahead and stop this for a moment and look at what the chat's doing. Hold on. Let's see. Read by nature.
No. Wait. Read the. Read by nature has been on a chain, man. You have to.
Okay. I'm sorry.
We have this, and
okay.
Oh, somebody read it because my English is.
I got it.
Okay.
Didn't Read by Nature says, didn't it only come out in a previous earnings call that Shang-Chi lost money? They spend so much on these movies that even comparatively large openings don't earn money back. Turns out that they tried to save money by having Shang-Chi and Thor, Love and Thunder, basically film pretty much around the same time using the same studio in Australia. Not that it really did them any good because both movies didn't do well.
Right.
Shang-Chi did make some money, but overall, thanks to our friends at WCB, world-class bullshitters, their videos help to explain why Shang-Chi isn't doing so well or hasn't done well. And what it comes down to is nobody wants that merchandise. So you don't have kids. None of their toys are selling. None.
Yeah.
So kids don't want this. And if you're aiming at adults, not enough of them went to see it. Now, it still made money, but it didn't make the kind of money that Marvel Studios was used to having. You got to understand, once you get to Black Widow, every film since Black Widow that is not a film owned by another studio with characters on loan to Marvel or characters that go through another studio like Sony, it isn't the same. In fact, they cut Phase 4 way short. Phase 4 should have been over next year.
Yeah.
We should still be in the middle of Phase 4 right now. Phase 4 should have been over next year. The fact that we are in Phase 5 right now shows you it's a little bit of a panic mode. Just a little bit. Not full on five alarm fire that Lucasfilm's in the middle of.
Right.
But it's getting there. And that's the reason why I say Kevin Feige should just go ahead and continue to just focus on Marvel Entertainment as a whole, but put someone else in charge of Marvel Studios. Preferably nobody that has been running Marvel Studios with him since the end of Phase 3. Personally, I have an idea of who I'd like that to be, but
yeah,
that's a very controversial idea. And I can see how some people would instantly say no, but it makes a logical sort of sense. So I'm going to say it anyway because it's my show. Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything. And he helped to build. He was one of the architects of phases 1 through 3. Put him in charge.
We talked about that a couple of weeks ago.
That's right. Put him in charge and let him do what he wants. And for those that, oh, no, it's just, look, Joss Whedon actually did work for Marvel Comics for a little bit. He handled the X-Men near perfectly. His run on the X-Men is the best run since
Chris Claremont.
Really? Seriously, preach. Since Claremont. You know, and especially with what they've been doing with the X-Men in recent years. Give me Joss Whedon, man. Get him, put him in charge, man.
This Fall of X, Court of X, Hellfire Gala crap.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, Monkey.
Hey, Monkey Jeebus. Let's see. What else is put there? Read by Nature also says they didn't need a Soviet equivalent to a helicarrier or the avalanche that murdered an entire prison. Money spent on nonsense. Preach. I can't add anything to that.
Yep.
Nonsense. A lot of nonsense. Let's see. Read by Nature also says, also, Disney Marvel have made extensive reshoots on industry standard. Not that I want to give them pointers, but they could get away with so many bad films if they didn't shoot 3 films worth. Again, a recent video put out by DC, and in this case, it's Doomcock, points to someone within the industry that decided to spill the beans on that. It's even worse than you think. You know, there was someone who is currently on strike has decided to speak their mind and tell the truth about what they've seen. And here it is. I'm just going to give you my summation of what the whole thing is. You can actually search out as the latest Doomcock video. Have fun with it.
Yeah. Before you get started, Keith, we've got somebody new that I haven't seen before. Kenneth Morales. Welcome.
Kenneth Morales. We got a newbie.
Yeah.
Welcome. Hope you enjoy your stay here.
Yeah. Look. First of all, let me just say on behalf of myself, thank you for spending your valuable time with us this morning. I hope to be able to earn your continued business and your patronage. And I hope, just have fun. And, I can vouch for pretty much everybody in this room. They're all good people, including the 2 guys that are stuck with me right now. So, yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Okay. So where was I? Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Well, you were about to tell us what the insider said that's striking.
What was striking is that they had pointed out to the fact that they wanted you to think about the question of why, for the Disney Plus shows, that those episodes only go, 5, 7, 8 episodes, sometimes even 10. And what it comes down to is that they're spending money reshooting constantly because they keep hiring directors who have little to no experience. So they go through, they'll shoot an episode, sometimes 2 or 3 episodes. Then they change their mind about the direction that they're going to go, which then causes them to have to go back and reshoot things. And instead of reshooting 1 or 2 scenes, they end up reshooting pretty much an entire episode. And they do that multiple times to the point where They spend so much money. What they end up showing, 8 episodes in certain cases, is all they could get away with because that's all the time they had left to do, is to have 8 episodes. Meaning that with the money that they have spent on some of this stuff, you could have gotten a full season's worth. Like any major television show of any of these events. They are wasting money on top of everything else.
Well, it's not just the directors at fault. It's also the writers. They have to come in and rewrite some of the stuff because it doesn't work.
And the visual effects crews not being given enough time to properly do things, both in terms of what they're able to do for the films as well as the streaming shows. And again, notice, I've said it before in the show, so I'm gonna say it again. You didn't have this kind of problem for any of the Netflix Marvel shows.
Nope.
Including Iron Fist. I wasn't the biggest fan, but I would take Iron Fist every day, all day, compared to some of the stuff that they got us watching on Disney Plus right now.
Secret Invasion.
Oh, not just Secret Invasion. But you're right.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why they turned to AI titles for Secret Invasion, because they ran out of time.
This is not going to go the way they think. To quote Luke Skywalker and probably
Jake Skywalker.
Yeah,
oh, I'm sorry. That was Jake Skywalker in that movie. To quote Jake Skywalker in the movie by the round-headed guy. Yeah, definitely not going to go the way that they think. Oh, wait a minute. Mr. Kenneth Morales says, found you all on Rumble, like the conversation.
Oh,
first of all, to everybody currently listening to us on every platform, I am humbled that you would give me any time at all. Okay, because John and Martin definitely deserve it. They're very hardworking young men. I, on the other hand, am this crazy dude who they break out of my cage every once in a while and allow me to just put a mic in my face and just start moving air past my lips. So again, I am very grateful that you would spend any time. And if you truly like what we're doing here, go ahead, like, share, subscribe, and if you can, leave a comment or 3, and definitely, please share this out on your social media and let people know how much you really enjoy what we do.
Yep.
King Horse. Yeah. Well, about time you got that. Let's see.
Now, Monkey Jibbles has some comments about the current thing.
Oh, about the strike. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Monkey Jibbles states the writers and actors are not going to win this. Okay, and he also states they should get residuals back, but they are asking too much without putting money down to make the movie. They have nothing at risk and then run their mouths on social media instead of promoting it. Okay, what's my reaction? Look.
That is so true. This last line, this last comment is so true.
So many modern movies are killed because they say something stupid. Let me add something. I am all for new talent. I am all for giving people an opportunity, okay? But as has been revealed by certain people who wanted to go anonymous because, they themselves work in the business. The thing that I agree with is that you have a lot of people who aren't that talented as far as writers go. And they are asking to be treated like anyone else that has been in the business, that has earned some recognition and earned their reputation. This is one of those situations where, you know, how they treat the other guilds, especially the Directors Guild and the Producers Guild. They don't just let anybody in. You got to earn your way in. Cinematographers, others. The Writers Guild needs to get picky, is what they need to do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all about giving them everything they ask for. My only ask back is get picky. Demand more rather than somebody sitting around just writing. As far as I'm concerned, anybody that has not been working, I'd say more than 10 years as a writer that is writing right now on any of the K-Trek shows, no.
You sound like Palpatine.
I got to draw a line. You know, you're asking people to spend money and their valuable time, whether sitting in a theater or sitting in their homes, and you produce slop that you expect quality actors to have to give of themselves to make some sense out of it. And the very fact that all those actors can do anything on any of those shows is amazing. But the showrunners of those shows, especially Mr. G on Strange New Worlds,
yep,
you should be buying some really nice Christmas gifts for the showrunners and writers of The Expanse as you continue to have certain characters on your show that are way too reminiscent of certain characters on The Expanse.
Yep.
Khan's granddaughter. You took her right out of The Expanse cast. I'm not going to point out which character she's very reminiscent of.
Oh, I will.
Know
Drummer.
what I'm saying.
I'm not afraid to name names. She's a ripoff of Drummer, who's one of my favorite characters in The Expanse.
Oh, heck yes. Heck yes. You and I are part of the army of fans of Drummer.
Hey, don't let me out.
And Martin too, all three of us.
Yeah. But another reason, Monkey, why they're not going to win is because they keep adding to their demands.
Yeah.
They're demanding, the Writers Guild is now, they were crying because they've been on strike, so they're not making any money, so that they don't qualify for health care. Well, whose fault is that? It's yours for striking. They want an extension, and they want them to cover the fact that they're on strike as part of the health care. And they want reimbursement of some stuff because of the strike while they're on strike. And I'm like, okay, that makes no sense. But they're going to keep asking for the moon, and they're not going to get it. This is one time I think that the studios are not going to back down, and they're going to go, well, okay, we'll just start cutting stuff out of our schedule and then get it pared down. And then when you finally come to your senses, you'll have fewer shows to work on.
I just think that the Writers Guild should start getting really picky about allowing in people in the future. You know, I can see negotiating on behalf of the studios and say, you know what, we'll give you everything you're asking for, but you need to change how you let people in to your guild. You need to start getting real picky.
I would say if I was doing this, I'd say, okay, we're going to give you whatever you want. We're going to get you what you're asking for, rather. But from now on, your pay's based on merit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, and this one. Oh my.
Lucky Jeebus says they want sympathy from an America that doesn't have a job or making anything close to them. Yeah, they look.
Their minimum
Everybody
is double what the average American makes.
I have a real soft spot for writers. I think both in terms of what they do, television, film, even those that write, for blogs. Don't get me started on books, literature, and all that. It's just we need to. I know we need to value them more, and they definitely need to be valued more. But a lot of you who have started in the last 5 years, definitely the last 7, you need to get better.
Yeah.
And some of you have picked up some bad habits from some really, really, really bad people. If we're going to talk about geek shows and nerd shows, there are the good geek shows and nerd shows, and there are the ones that don't qualify as that. I'm sure all the writers on all the Star Trek shows that they have currently running have a good time writing for those shows. But I'm telling you right now, you would not have made it under Rick Berman or anyone running any of those shows.
Oh, no.
And for good reason. And for very good reason. In fact, I'll even go you one better. You wouldn't make it working for The Expanse.
No, the Expanse writers' room was talented.
And don't get me started on what Terry Matalas did with the writers that he brought in for Picard Season 3. He had to go out and get writers who he had worked with on other projects. So, yeah. You need to search out some really good showrunners and some really good shows. Battlestar Galactica under Ronald D. Moore, that would have been a great place to learn. In fact, you should just go out and seek out Ronald D. Moore right now. Work with him. You will learn more than you have ever learned working under Alex Kurtzman or any of his gang.
Yeah, Wolverine. Did you see what Wolverine wrote?
Let's see. Wolverine 626. See, 20 staff writers on a series that consists of 10 episodes a season is ridiculous. 20 plus episodes a season is another story. Got nothing really to add to that, Wolverine.
Nope, you're absolutely correct.
We got a bang bullseye.
And now keep in mind, 10 episodes is short for Disney. For a Disney Plus series. They've been getting the average between 6 and 8 now, with 6 being the low, and I think 9 is the highest most recently. I think.
Mm-hmm. That's bad. That's just yeah. there are shows running right now that have been off the air for a little while on Netflix that wow, they're talking about the possibility of bringing back Suits. Get a job working on that.
Hopefully minus one person in particular.
Even if she comes back, just get a job writing on that. See if you can make it.
Yeah.
But here we go. It's the boss man himself, our good friend and buddy,
Mr. Gary Gazelle.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure where you were going with that. Well, our good friend and buddy died today. Yeah, I'm in the middle of my appointments. I thought I'd drop in and see how things were going.
Hey, I think everybody's enjoying themselves. At least like to think that they are. We're crucifying a lot of writers right now.
No. What? No.
I know.
How in a world would you crucify a writer? These writers are amazing.
Apparently, I made a mistake of calling for a meritocracy. So, you know.
Yeah. Now, I don't agree with script on this one because he and I talk a lot, and he feels that the new show Lioness is typical for Taylor Sheridan. And I'm like, no, I watch all of Taylor Sheridan's, and this is really off. This new show, the Lioness show with Zoe, what's her name? Yeah, I was so excited about this film. The cast looked great, but the new female they got in it that plays the Marine operative, terrible. She's terrible. She's not right in the part. She does not look like a Marine. You know, it's really weird, but that's not my problem. The problem is the writing. And I'm like, something's off here. Something's really off with that show. And it's like, it sounds like Taylor Sheridan. His name is on it. But then I'm watching it going, what is up with this writing? It's not the dialogue. The dialogue's good. It's the setups are really bad. Having people do things that nobody in that job would ever do. Be that stupid. They wouldn't be in that job if they were that stupid. So, again, there's such a serious problem with writing today. Who's all in the chat today?
Well, we have Monkey Jeebus, who's out there just killing it. If you think I'm out there just smacking writers around, and Jeebus is just killing them. He's just straight up slaying writers left and right.
Yeah, he's loading that bong with high quality stuff.
High quality stuff. There you go. Oh, I see Small Time Republic is here. Kenneth Morales is here. Of course, our good friend Wolverine 626 is here. Kingsport Cal. Of course, the amazing Monkey Jeebus is here. Let's see, who else? Is Penny here today? Orville Nation's here. What's up, Orville? Whoa. Yep. It's good to see you. Orville doesn't watch when I'm on. Never shows up when I'm doing the show. I wouldn't say that. Our good friend from Limey friend, Andy Morrow's here. That's good to see. So that's it. That's awesome. What have we talked about? Did you talk about the investor call?
We talked about the investor call, and that led us into
what was it? I have not watched anything on. I've been so busy. What happened?
Basically, it was
a mixed bag.
It was a mixed bag, and a lot of language to soft pedal certain things, and or you just conveniently just sort of skip over things. You know,
well, that's what he pulled last time. Chapek pulled that shit. Didn't want to respond to things. Did we get any of those calls this time from people?
No.
They were more careful this time.
According to Valiant Renegade, you should expect those kinds of calls next April. That's where the average Joe, who actually average Joe investor, will be allowed to make calls in and ask questions and talk about certain things, bring certain things up. Everybody knows they're not supposed to, air quotes.
They're not supposed to.
Well, it basically boiled down to, we lost money, but we didn't lose as much as you thought we were.
Great. What?
And the only reason the stock's going up is because they basically licensed out the ESPN name to Penn Entertainment for their sports betting.
I heard Valiant say something about how Iger said that they're doing great even though they've got less viewership.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What kind of weird ass backward language is that? Even Yoda was like, sense that does not make.
He had his new guy with him named Kevin.
Look what a small-time Republic is saying.
He underperformed so well.
That's just what? Is Kevin Bob Iger's Mr. Slave?
I'm sorry. Kevin was brought in. Kevin was brought in to give all of the
Kevin
news
Feige?
about. No. It's another guy. His last name I forgot, but I remember Iger read what he was supposed to read, and then he let Kevin handle the rest of it. And Kevin was the one that had to give all the news, kind of lightly touching on the theatrical performances and everything else.
Every single remake is tanked.
I'm the guy that gives you all the bad news. And it was bad. I felt bad for the dude.
Kevin was a Muppet. That's what it was. Kevin was a Muppet.
Oh my God! Yes. Did you see the trailer for this?
My goodness!
Taylor Sheridan is bringing Bass Reeves to TV.
Okay, hold up. I got to say this. Paramount. I know I've said some things in the past about how you do business, and so I officially want to say that everything I've ever said about you, I'm only going to take back half of it.
I have a list of everything you've ever said right here.
You're ruining the moment, man. You're ruining the moment.
Pompous butt monkeys was one thing that you called them. Anus, what is this word? No, anus sphincter dogs. Rabid dog feces. This one, is this even English? It looks Latin.
It is Latin, but
no, it's a bunch of words running together. Fucking twat, one word. Fucking twat. Yeah, I'm giving up. I don't think there's anything G-rated in what you said previously about Paramount, so we're gonna leave that alone. But here's the list.
What are you looking at, butthead?
Where have I heard this one?
Lying dog face pony soldiers. Biden.
I know.
Oh, okay. I thought you were having a Venezuelan moment.
Taylor Sheridan, I just want to thank you. Seriously,
Taylor Sheridan has brought us so much good stuff, but this latest show, Lioness, I can't finish it, dude. I can't finish it.
You know what? That's still a better than average batting score overall. I will say this. Whereas Tom Cruise saved the movie theaters, Taylor Sheridan is out to save Paramount.
Save television. He did. And this is where, everybody thinks it's script, and I agree on everything. We don't. I do not agree with his assessment on Taylor Sheridan at all. I think Taylor Sheridan is the best screenwriter working in television currently. And there could be more. But they keep giving the job to Akiva Goldsman and people like him that can't write worth a shit, and they can, because you and I kind of shit on Freiberger, okay, the other day with our Saturday morning fun time where we shit on him.
Yes.
But the fact is, you and I did stop is like, he can do children's cartoon animated scripts really well. He does well with those simplistic stories, especially if there are monsters involved.
Yes.
But, Kurtzman, nothing he's ever written was good. Nothing. Akiva Goldsman, how he got that Oscar blows my mind. And it was clearly from somebody else's hard work. And I used to feel that way about Ben Affleck. I always thought he took credit for what Matt Damon did with Good Will Hunting. But God damn it, he's actually a very good fucking writer.
Mm-hmm. Again,
I was shocked when I sat down and read one of his scripts. And I'm like, this guy knows what he's doing.
His Batman script. Batman script, even, oh man. So, you know what?
Paramount's the other one, by the way. I want to bring this up. And I want to get your pulse on this because you and I kind of chatted about it last night. Chat-wise, we didn't talk, we chatted. And that's like a cat batting a ball back and forth, chatting. So I don't know why that pops into my head. That's weird. So we were chatting last night about Paramount and about how, or was that this morning? It might have been this morning. Everything runs together with me because I don't get much sleep, about 4 hours sleep. And I just remember you and
it was early this morning.
Was it? It was early this morning. And it was basically talking about how the new guys, the money guys at Paramount are kind of setting down the law. And it is clear when you read what they're saying, they're talking about Star Trek.
Yeah.
Or Kurtzman Trek specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if they'll ever fucking fire that court sucker. I just don't know. I don't know. You know, but
they could.
They've got to defund him. They got to defund him.
Yes.
Because him and Akiva, because I read another article that Akiva Goldsman is somehow involving himself in the new spinoff series, the Picard spinoff. Okay. And that he is having trouble getting it greenlit. And I don't think that the show's having the problem. I think he's the problem. I think they've got the right people in there that aren't complete fucking morons. That are like, this spending got to stop. We need to put more effort into the storytelling and put less into these productions because they're putting millions of dollars to make these things look amazing, but they don't have scripts and storytelling to match. And they're losing viewership. They tried to give Discovery free viewership to CBS. And you remember what happened? Nobody watched.
Oh, yeah, nobody watched.
They were into the thousands in viewership. That's how bad it got. Stop and think. This is Star Trek. And it had dropped to thousands watching. And they thought they could hide that shit behind that paywall. But we know guys like Valiant, Culture Casino, WDWPRO, Doomcock. These guys find out.
Well, and Netflix.
Because there are ways of finding out.
The thing is, Netflix let it be known because they were having to pay for it.
That's right, on purpose.
Well, they did it on purpose because they found. Yeah, they were pissed, and they should have been pissed because they gave money and got no real value for what they spent. So, and again, it's not show friends; it's show business. And if you can't do business, you don't belong there. I'm sorry, you just don't. And
no, you don't. And by the way, Jiva says, I think Kurtzman is staying because he's willing to say yes to whatever they say. Here's how I see that. That's like a toothless old woman that's really good at giving head. And when you don't have anybody in your life, that's awesome. But when you meet other people, suddenly that's not so interesting anymore. In fact, it becomes kind of repugnant. The smacking sound just really grosses you out.
Oh, no.
That's Kurtzman. You're welcome. You're welcome. Did you hear what Don did on the show yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
It floored me when he said it. I cracked up laughing because I was like, what did you just say? He said that he responded to something about, I promise. Yeah, really, I'm not lying to you. And to give it as an example, he said, that's right, the check's in the mail, and don't worry, baby, I won't come in your mouth. And I was just like, everything in me went, what the fuck did he just say? I couldn't believe Don said that. Usually, I'm the one that says fucked up shit. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, I didn't want to come in here and ruin the show. Ruin it, Brian. Ruin. I wanted to just
Hey,
pop
Black
in and say
Ass.
hi to you guys. Hey, it's Black Ass. Oh my God. OMG. Executives are so busy you can't get bullshit by bullshitting them. Look, I'm going to tell you something. They're hiring new people, and these new people are being brought in specifically because they've been hemorrhaging money. These studios, all of them. Apple has the single best productions. I'm not saying they're the greatest shows. They have the best productions going right now for web television. Okay, they also have the lowest subscribership.
Which is a shame.
All of them. But it's got to grow, because if it doesn't grow, they're in trouble. And I think that if they do buy or purchase part of Disney, that's going to really, really help them. Because,
I personally I don't think they're going to do all of that. I think they're going to just buy one. I think Disney's going to put.
How are they going to do it, though, Keith? Because they've got these productions on what is a web platform that's not bringing in the numbers that equal the quality being put out. So there's a discrepancy between money going in or going out and not coming back. You understand what I'm saying? There's a discrepancy. And you can only do that for so long. I mean, Disney's learned, put out crappy shows. Look what happens. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think Apple is going to buy pieces. I think Disney's going to try to get away with selling pieces. No. Well,
no. Hulu they're keeping. Hulu they're going to fold into Disney Plus.
I think what they're going to do is they're going to buy pieces that Iger will eventually sell off.
I don't know. Look, I'm having problems with that, John. What do you mean? Because, branding is everything.
Right. But they're what they should do and what they're probably going to do are two different things. What they should do is make Disney Plus a tier of like an add-on for Hulu.
Well, yeah, because that's kind of what they've been doing. So this is weird. I mean, you can't blend it in there. That defies logic of branding.
Well, when they
got over a decade of branding.
Yeah. But they're gonna merge them, so there's only one streaming platform. You only have one app, one address to go to for your streaming for them.
See, I'm apprehensive when I hear that. I just like.
Yeah, I don't agree with it. They, like I said, they should make Disney Plus like do what
now if they're creating
Amazon does.
If they're creating a gateway, that's different, because you can have the Freevee app all by itself, or you can watch Freevee through Prime.
Right.
I do both, and but if you create a gateway, if you're saying a gateway, then that makes sense. It's sort of like you go to this main website. Which one do you want to go to? Would you like to log into Hulu? Would you like to log into Disney Plus? There, I like that. But they're keeping the Hulu, and you should still be able to have an app and be able to go directly to Hulu. If they don't have that set up that way, they've made a huge fucking mistake.
But they should do what Amazon does with their pay channels, where you could pay. Oh, well, we're going to pay for Showtime or whatever.
Through them.
You get access to their content for an additional fee.
You know what?
That's
I don't
what they
like
should do
about
with.
that?
What?
Here's the flaw in the slaw with that. I tried it. What I couldn't do is log in separately to Showtime on their app on my phone. I could only log into Showtime through Amazon. And that irritated me. It wasn't just them. It was Shudder, Showtime, and there was another app that I tried out, one of their Acorn. Again, only through Amazon. I couldn't log in directly to Acorn either. All three of those. And I think that's a mistake.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
You know, it all comes from the same servers, right?
Yeah.
They're all owned by Amazon anyway.
Yeah. Amazon owns all those servers. There's Penny. Hi, Penny.
Yeah.
Penny saved my butt the other day for that Blade Runner special.
Awesome.
I forgot about it over on Loki's channel. I forgot all about it. Got caught up, was busy on something, and then I get this email pops up from Penny going, "Aren't you supposed to be on Blade Runner thing on Loki?" No, it threw everything. Shut everything down. Get over there. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Penny is awesome. I mean,
Yeah, she is.
I'm gonna have to. I'm thinking about going back to Vegas and at least saying hello to a few people when I get there.
Wolverine just said that too, and I'm like, that's a mistake. That's a marketing mistake. It is. You don't buy a brand and then get rid of the brand.
I agree.
Fox.
Fox? What?
Fox.
What about Fox?
That's basically what they've done with Fox.
I still know Fox. I can still go to Fox.
Do they still? You can, yeah, but the movies and stuff, they're coming out under the Disney banner.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
If they're good, that's awesome for them. If they're bad, it's just more Disney crap.
I will say this: the sooner that the strikes can be over with, the sooner we can get back to discussing all the stuff that we normally discuss. You know, how bad Disney is. And
yeah, I want to get back to where we just shit on everything. I miss those days. No, because we tried to take a more proactive approach, because I just get kind of tired of all the negativity. And
well,
I know if I'm feeling it, you've got to be feeling it too.
I think Disney's missing out. They're leaving a lot of money on the table, basically.
Well, they're making lumped together stupid things. They're just doing stupid upon stupid thing after another. It's just ridiculous. I've never seen so many fuck ups in a company not completely fold. Yeah.
I mean, again, they own the rights to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You're wanting to make entertainment for young women in general. Given what
they don't
the writings
want to take something that was made just for that. They want to take something that wasn't made for that and then convert it into it.
Well,
it's got meaning. They get damage to shit that they think is not made for girls and needs to be made for girls. And then on top of that, they get the tank and lose money. Because they apparently love that. They love losing money.
So they like taking something like, say, Dwayne Johnson's TV show Ballers and just making that for women. They're going to remake it with an all-female cast.
The end of episode 1 of Secret Invasion pissed me off so much I couldn't watch it anymore.
I watched it all.
No,
that's all time that I'll never get back. Fortunately, they were short episodes.
Shinatsky, that's one of 2 ideas they had for Buffy. One was they were trying to do that, but they had a previous one before that. And they were trying to get one of the actresses from Glee, when Glee was still in the air, to do it.
How about that Lost Boy pilot that got buried?
Oh, geez. Oh, God. That sounded so bad.
With the Frog Sisters.
Oh, man. Don't remind me.
Keith, what do you know about this?
That I didn't. Well, unless that was the one from the producers, the Kazooie couple who made the movie, who were able to get the rights to Buffy, and
for whom Josh.
Yes, they found a legal loophole and attached themselves to the Buffy idea when Joss made the movie. So when it was time for him to make the television series, they automatically got the right to put their company logo at the end of every episode. They never had any decision-making power as to what the episodes were about, but Joss Whedon cannot do anything with Buffy without them signing off. And when they were going around trying to make their Buffy reboot, they couldn't do anything without Joss Whedon. That's the reason why Joss Whedon decided for that one to tell them good luck. He didn't engage beyond that. And that's when all the actors started coming out and crapping on that idea of doing a brand new Buffy series, a reboot. And it was from that couple who had only made the movie. They had no other interactions with Buffy beyond that. And that's the reason why Joss did what he did with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the series. The reason why he did it the way that he did it was because he was trying to find a way of getting it beyond what he did for the movie, to take it away and try to get it out of the hands of that couple. But legally, he couldn't do anything to shake them. Their logo is on every single episode of Buffy and of Angel. It even extended to Angel. And it was just like, wow.
That's outstanding for them. By the way, this just in, Johnny Hardwick, King of the Hill star, he played Dale Gribble, is dead at 64, man. I wonder if he got the voice work for this reboot done before he passed.
Yeah, he died actually 2 days ago.
I just saw it in our chat.
Yeah, it just broke today.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't. Look, I don't. Everybody knows I don't like Joss Whedon. I don't like his writing. I don't like him, and I'm not a fan of Buffy. I liked Angel. I liked that TV series. I did not like Buffy, and I don't know. Maybe it was subconsciously I picked up on his woke bullshit, and it just bugged me. But I just don't like his writing. I really don't think he's a very good writer. But I love the movie with Rutger Hauer. Paul Rubens was in it. He played one of the vampires. He has one of the funniest death scenes.
They tried to do an animated series. They tried to do an animated Buffy series, and for whatever reason, nobody would pick it up, even though it was all of the original writers from the show and everybody in the cast, with the exception of Sarah Michelle Gellar, was returning to do the animated series. So they cast the young woman who was the voice of Buffy in the video game, who sounds exactly like Sarah Michelle Gellar. And they did a short animated kind of a short animated kind of takeoff and what that series would look like, and it looked really well. You know, I really enjoyed it.
Oh, look at
Man.
This idea from Shenotsky.
How about Buffy ends up a miserable failure that tells a brunette British girl to go? Wow. Wow. Look, Buffy would work if they would, in my opinion, Buffy would work if they just went to the world of Buffy and expanded on it, because they created so much content. They created so many different characters, so many different races, that if you just went and did a straight reboot, you're basically starting over from the beginning rather than expanding upon that entire world. They had talked about for a long time a spin-off series called Ripper. And
yeah, you and I've talked about that before.
That would have been fantastic to do that, but they never did anything with it. And then they had the Buffy animated series, and nothing happened with that. And then you had all of the work that he poured into the comics, which again, that year
Yeah, because I got to work on that too. I got to work on Spike for IDW.
Oh, geez, dude. See, just when you can't get, listen, everybody, just when Gary Cassell couldn't get any cooler, he says something and just,
Yeah, but I only got to do that just a little bit because immediately the main company pulled the IP and gave it to Dark Horse away from IDW. So it's like, that's the lot in life I've been given. I get to do like one or two things and then it changes hands.
Yeah, but again,
anyway, this is big news. Sandra Bullock's longtime partner Brian Randall is dead at 57.
Wow.
He had a 3-year battle with ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Do you think Lou Gehrig is happy having that disease named after him? Bet it annoys him. I hit home runs. I had records. Stolen bases. Times at bat. What do you remember?
You know what?
For? The disease that killed me.
Wolverine 626, Ripper, the Giles Show. I would have loved a Spike TV series. I would have loved a Spike TV series too.
Everybody wanted a Spike show.
Well, I wanted a Giles show first because there's a lot more with Giles that they revealed than just with Spike. I like the fact that Anthony Stewart Head was going to be a part of it. And so it would be more or less like Giles recounting tales from his younger years, but also what he's doing now. You get to check in on that. I like that. I think that the Buffyverse is so big, you could actually create a lot of content with that, a lot of spin-off stuff, but also do another TV show set within the Buffyverse, but don't have Buffy in it. You don't really need Buffy, especially with what they did in the final episode. You don't really need just Buffy. You could just create other characters. And so, to me, expand the universe. Because I'll tell you, if Disney did that, they could make deals with all the individual actors and have them make cameo appearances on the new show. And, for the record, Disney, I did come up with a pilot for how you could do that. I created a spinoff or an expansion of the Buffyverse. A way that you could still have what you want to do is introduce a new female lead, give us all the goodness, and again, as Joss Whedon and all the writers have stated, they were really good when the stories were in high school. I created a way to do all of that and set it in modern day and allow room for all of the actors to come back if they wanted to play parts in it. So there you go. Call me. I'm willing to do any of that. Call me. But there's so many ways to go with Buffy, and the fact that Disney has not done anything at all with it shows you how out of their minds they are. They own the Alien franchise. They own, the Predator franchise. Anything that Fox had, Disney now owns. So what are we seeing? We've had a Predator movie made. One. I mean, just one thing? Is that it? That's all you want? If you're really not going to use any of the intellectual property that you got from Fox, then take what you want, sell the rest. Trust me, a lot of people will line up to buy that library. So when you sell it to Amazon, because Amazon will do whatever it takes to get their hands on that library if you decide you wanted to part with it. All those IPs, I mean, minus the Marvel stuff, which is what they, in my opinion, They wanted to do that. I think they wanted all the Marvel stuff. But minus that, it doesn't seem like Disney seems to have any interest in anything else. So if you're going to let it sit there, as Zaslav said, why should it sit there when it could be making you money? Again, more pearls of wisdom from Zaslav.
Keith,
Yeah.
look at this pitch from Black Ass.
My pitch does not involve Buffy having a daughter, but that's pretty good. my pitch is a little different, and it starts with a major bang. If you saw what they did with the Buffy season 8 comic, which is what I think it was, it's kind of a takeoff in what they did with that, but I still found something really a unique take on all of that. So Wolverine 66 says an Alien movie and a series are on the way. I know. They're also did you guys get the thing that I sent out, the video about from the Salty Nerds about I wanted you to look at a particular portion of that where they were talking about the Stargate series.
Monkey, there would be no Slayers if that was the case.
Yeah, there would be no Slayers. Did you guys happen to get all that about the Stargate series?
When did you send that out?
Oh, I sent that out yesterday. Don't worry about it. I'll recap it.
Okay.
Basically, there was going to be this whole thing at San Diego Comic-Con for a brand new Stargate series. Now, here's the thing. If it's the one that I heard about from before, this is one of the producers and writers of the original Stargate series coming back to do more stuff. They were able to sign Amanda Tapping and pretty much the entire cast, except Richard Dean Anderson, who told them to F off.
Really?
He's retired.
He's retired. But here's the other thing. What I heard is they found a way of, again, this is a Stargate series. Notice, I didn't say it was a Stargate SG-1 series. It was going to be Amanda Tapping, and it was going to be Joe Flanagan, and they were mixing the cast of all the shows who wanted to come back in one show.
Somehow I don't think Jason Momoa is going to come back.
It would make sense that they could switch roles.
Yeah, and that was something that was going to be at San Diego Comic-Con. They were going to make the announcement. They were going to show everybody that was a part of it, and the strike, and that ended that. Now, my whole thing was, well, why didn't the producers just show up? J. Michael Straczynski was there to introduce a brand new Babylon 5 animated movie, and he even showed it. Why didn't you guys just show up and talk about what you had? That wouldn't have broken any rules. You didn't have to invite any of the actors. People would have lost their ever-loving minds.
What are you, a fan of The Thing from Fantastic Four? Ever-loving? Come on. Get your own catchphrase.
Ever-loving blue-eyed thing.
That's right.
Look who's here.
The Peter Venkman fan site.
Girl. I just call her Venkman's girl. That's what she is on Twitter. So, just a reminder, Sandra Bullock is single. For all you guys out there think you got a chance.
That's cool.
Good luck.
At that Latino goddess, you know.
Good luck.
Yeah. Maybe if I would have won the 1.58, whatever it is, $1 billion Powerball, maybe.
Well, you live in Florida?
No, I don't. That's somebody stole my numbers, I guess.
Look, I look at it this way. You know, Sandra Bullock is a really, really cool actress. I think she is someone who you give her the right role, I think she's ready for it. She's down for almost anything. and she can do almost anything. Personally, I'm surprised she hasn't, you know, I'm surprised she hasn't just formed her own company and just mopped up the floor with a lot of people, because she was the one who alerted me. Because of her, I was able to figure out that that whole romantic period of making romantic movies was just about done when she complained about it openly. You know, not about her movies. I mean, about the entire thing as a genre. You know,
well, it's such a difficult genre to make good quality. I like that one she did with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, well, it was while she was out talking about that, playing that movie up, that she talked about that, how the quality of making those films has changed. It's become, you know, she was complaining that it was becoming slipshod, that the people that were trying to make a lot of that stuff nowadays didn't care about putting any time or effort into it. And I agreed with her. You know, I don't care what genre you write. Try to be the best. I mean, try real hard to be the best. Because if you're just gonna make something shoddy, don't do it. You know, that's how you kill a genre. That's how you kill a series of films. Is that you stop caring. You start working on autopilot. You got a lot of people doing that right now with a lot of comic book movies. My thing is like, why are you doing that? What you think you've seen everything? Anybody that's ever read comic books for any real period of time and read them from companies outside of Marvel can tell you have seen nothing yet. We've barely scratched the surface with the movies that have been made based on the comics that they have decided to use as the basis for those films. You haven't even come close to scratching the surface of what has been done. If Hollywood truly wanted to go down that entire road of doing comic book movies, we can do that. We can do that. I'm ready for it. I know John's ready for it. Gary's beyond ready for it. Martin would love it.
I don't know.
But nobody wants to.
Martin doesn't like things. He's kind of a dick. Was it made in Venezuela? No. Then I don't want to see it.
Yeah, you ran him off now.
Let's talk about him while he's gone.
The thing is, there's an entire universe, like for instance, there's an entire universe set up with Hellboy. How much of that have we seen beyond just, you know, making the occasional Hellboy movie? Hellboy should be structured like how they're doing the John Wick films. And you should start to be, you know, you should start seeing other characters, because there are other comic books connected to that.
Yep.
You know, how many have actually, you know, seen any of the Savage Dragon beyond, you know, the Saturday morning series? I would love to see a live action Savage Dragon as just a regular television series. That'd be kind of fun.
Not the current version.
I don't want anything to do with Savage Dragon, especially Eric Larson. So
yeah, that guy's superb. There's something wrong with him.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. Let's strike that last, and let's begin from me ending about Hellboy. Ready? And go. And Hellboy. Yeah. There's just a lot involved with that. But then again, you know, we could go into, say, anything from the Rippaverse. I'm sure he would be willing to sign whatever, as long as the, you know, scripts were solid.
Yeah.
He's working with our good friend Chuck Dixon now.
Yeah.
Ooh, you see? Still
won't respond to any of my messages.
What?
I've messaged that dude so many times to have him on our show. Never fucking responds.
Rippa?
Yeah.
and the guy is too busy.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that there comes a point where he's got to have seen at least one of my fucking messages. And I don't know what's up with that. It's weird. Because we know a lot of the same people, and I think it's really weird that he's not responding to me.
I'd like to get Sandy back on.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with him. He's been really like crazy not connecting. It's hard to get a hold of him. And I love that guy so much. You know that. I just love talking about his work. And
Sandy
the gifts he gave you and me. I mean, my God, he signed those books to you and me. And I mean, wow, that was awesome. But I'd love to get him back on again. He is so much fun, dude. And he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, and that's his power.
And don't get me wrong. I'm not, because you know how big a supporter I am of Blue Dog Democrats. Okay.
Yeah.
But he took a red pill. Have you seen him lately? He is so anti a lot of this shit. And I'm like, good on you. Good on you. He's tired of the Hollywood bullshit. And I love that. It's gotten so bad because he's friends with Dave Williams too, Baz Reeves comic, Dave Williams.
Yeah.
And even he said something, and I'm like, look, I'm not going to call him a conservative by any measure, but he's definitely taken a bit of the red pill, and he's fed up with the woke shit, the leftist craziness. But even Democrats, true, hardcore, real Democrats, biting your teeth, taking it in the ass, Democrats, hold on to that tree for dear life, or it might snap you in half, Democrats.
He's here all week, everybody.
I'm here all week, but I'm fine. But it's just it's so nice to see so many of these people who were part of it, that were part of the conversation that we saw quickly was fucked up. Now they're going, oh shit, I get what you were saying now. It's like, yeah. They're like the devil, man. Give them an inch, they're your ruler. They'll just keep going.
I guess I frighten people so much that I am now considered a Republican. So
you are actually, because you're as much a Republican as I am, because technically I still consider myself a Blue Dog Democrat, which is why I don't want to ever register Republican ever again, because I don't like a lot of the people in the RNC. There's a lot of fucking assholes in there. Now, agreed, I like more in the Republican Party than I like on the Democratic tickets. I've found that the Democratic Party has become just overpopulated with crazy idiots, and I don't know who to blame. Like, who do you blame for that? They've just become like overpopulated by these fucking assholes. And I think that it puts guys like you in a hard spot, because you always wanted to vote Democrat. Yeah. You grew up that way with your mom and dad. Now you're going to pass that on with your kids. And it's sort of like us, Irish Catholic Democrats. And somewhere around 1988, man, I changed. I said, I can't deal with these leftists. They're driving me crazy. They're all over the place. And they're everywhere. And the problem is they're infecting everything. There's nothing left in the Democratic Party that stands out as something truly American. Nothing left, because it's all been polluted by what they're doing. And there's going to come a point where you're going to either you have to fight and get them the fuck out, or you're going to jump ship. You watch. Because you're my best friend. I watch you. I respect you. But I'm telling you, you're going to jump ship one day, because the idiocy is getting that bad. The religious right is my problem with the Republican Party. That, and all the guys that are capitalists that say they're conservative, they're not. They're not. They are. What I don't like is social conservatism. I don't like that. We shouldn't be telling anybody who to fuck or how to fuck them unless it's criminal. We got to stand up to those laws. Like, you don't diddle little kids, man. But they're trying to do that right now. And I hate to say it, buddy, the Democratic Party is where it's all coming out of, with these people trying to push for more aggressive and advanced sexual education that's for little kids. And you guys need to kick them out, man. Get your party back. I miss the old Democratic Party. Hubert Humphrey, man, that guy was awesome. I love that guy.
Yeah, but he's not returning any of my phone calls.
If you didn't hear, I hate to be the one to tell you this. He's
what happened? What happened?
He died on the toilet. It was horrible.
What?
Yeah, taking a shit and died. Had a massive heart attack.
They got him?
Yeah, the poop got him. Oh. Now, Hubert Humphrey was great, man. He was a hero of mine. Mm-hmm. Barry Goldwater and Hubert Humphrey were the two politicians I most admired when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
They both stood for things that I agreed with. And there was a time, and I told somebody, not that long ago, I said, I am a Hubert Humphrey Democrat, but that makes me conservative now. I'm right.
I put you on the list.
I've been on the list, but you're on the list too, whether you like it or not. Because
I know, I know I'm on the list,
and you stand up against woke, and so therefore you're on the list. And both of you, I agree wholeheartedly on big supporters of the gay community. I dislike that certain people, the trans community, have added themselves into the gay community. It's like, no, you're your own. They're doing this, and it's doing damage to the gay community. They had made so many strides socially since the 90s, man. Look at the changes that came about. And now it's all regressing because the trans community is involving itself into that one. The gay community needs to pull away, man. Say, fuck off. Pull out. Pull out. There you go. That's the new slogan. Pull out.
Oh my God.
And are
you running for office?
And I'm not against people. I'm not against trans people at all. Not remotely. Dying on the toilet is the way to go when you have no more shits to give.
Well, surprisingly, we haven't been taken off the air yet. So
yes,
I don't know why we're still going. It's like we're over 2 hours. I'm just. Like,
but we're having a good time.
When I came back.
Hey, Fletcher.
I will.
Oh, Fletcher's here. What's up?
Anima. Yeah.
Now, Fletcher sees a lot of my personal posts on my personal Twitter account. Things I would never say on Pop Culture Minefield, because my personal account's my personal account. I get very political. And I don't give a shit if it offends people. It's like, if you're offended by what I said, you are part of the problem. You're part of the problem.
I do go off more about Star Trek personally, but that's just
what I go after when it comes to TV and shows is just simply what you and I always go after: the quality. We go after the quality, because there's such a lacking of quality. And here's what I said the other night, and everybody agreed with me when I said it. Look, man, because Bounding Into Comics made this post, and they said, in the post they're saying, people want a good reason to go to the movies. I said, it's always been, this isn't something new. It's always been there. And the problem is Hollywood stopped respecting our money.
Yep.
They stopped respecting the audience. And the audience is the money. Yep. Kennedy doesn't understand that. Kennedy really doesn't grasp it. Kurtzman doesn't fucking understand the audience is the money. And if you are not getting an audience, you're failing. And so this is my thing with movies, going to the movies, because movies are now between $14 and $20 to go see a film, where you're at. Okay. So I did the math the other night. If you look, the new Turtle movie compared to the 1990 film, The 1990 film made $35 million its opening week. Okay.
Yeah.
Opening week. And new one, really not much better. I think they finally gauged the last part. They pushed the envelope, and I'm kind of bullshit up on a little bit. They're saying 50 million. I think it's more closer to 40 or 45. But here's what it is. You do the math, you and I talk about this, where you take the average ticket price from that period and divide that into the total amount they made for that first week, and look at the fucking difference between 1990 and today. There's a difference of about 200 to 250 million people less today watching that movie. They were almost, in fact, by Sunday, Saturday, they were at close to about 1/3 to 1/2 of what the first film had. And there's still less. Even when they say they made 50 million, I call bullshit on that. I think they're fluffing it. I think they're fluffing the numbers. Studios do that shit. You know they do. And they'll do this thing. I'm serious. You think I'm fucking kidding. Disney has done it multiple times where they have bought out entire theaters in Malaysia and places like that where they think they're not going to get caught. They'll buy out the whole theater to boost up their numbers.
Yeah.
And it should be considered criminal to do that, but it's not. It's a marketing strategy.
Yep.
And it's crooked because it's dishonest. And they'll do that. They did that with Captain Marvel. They did it with a bunch of films where they had empty theaters. These are still theaters that sold out, but somehow nobody was in there.
You know, you really have to spend money to do that if you make something people want to watch. Just saying.
Yeah. And you're right, Fletcher. They're just doing the check marks. You know, we can't have gingers anymore. If they do have a ginger, they're race swap with a black person for some reason. Even though technically Morgan Freeman's a ginger. Will he be race swapped?
God.
They are. I think they're thinking about it.
It's ridiculous what they're doing, man. It really is. And it's pathetic. And I was just watching a video the other day, and this woman was, and I don't like Piers Morgan by any measure of the word. I think he's a complete cunt. But he's right on some of these issues, especially when it comes to woke crap. And he was talking to this woman, a feminist that's defending trans. And he says, you don't consider it grotesque that biological men are beating women in women's sports. You don't find that grotesque. And she's like, I find it grotesque that trans people have, and he goes, that's not what I asked you. Answer my question. She goes, I will not answer your question. And she goes, I consider this subject boring.
Yeah.
Women's fucking rights is boring to a feminist. Really happened live on TV.
Wow.
I used to think it was just stupidity, but this is insanity. That's not normal. No normal human being thinks that way. And it comes to the fact that this is a cult. They think and act like cults. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is no longer a political thing. It's an ideology. It's an ideology of a cult. And they act very cultish. If you say anything to them, do you think you're going to win an argument with them? No, you'll shut them down is all you do. They'll just shut up and they'll look at you with hatred and disdain because they have nothing to come back with. But did you change their mind? No. You spoke with logic. You gave them actual scientific information, and they just stop talking to you and they give you the look, that glare. I've had that glare. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, man, this is, I don't know what this is going to build up into, but it's a fucking boil, and it's going to burst one day, and some people are going to get hurt.
Yeah.
And they think they can keep pushing people, you know, and they do this thing too that really bugs the shit out of me, where they start talking about identity politics, and they're like, you need to identify this thing. And this happened to one young lady, and she was talking to this one trans person, just having a great conversation. But the trans person kept referring to her as cis, C-I-S, cis. She goes, I really don't like being called that. I'm a heterosexual female, and I just identify as what I am, my gender. And he called her transphobic for saying that. That he demands to be recognized, but he refused to recognize her for what she wanted to be recognized as. You see there?
That's
the flaw in the logic. They have no logic behind anything they do. There's no logic. It's insane. And people that fall into this are falling in the same way that people who are sucked into cults.
Because these are ideologies that are based on emotions, and emotions do not go hand in hand with logic.
No. Emotions, as Spock has said, is illogical. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We've gotten in the weeds there.
Yeah, we got in the weeds. I was getting ready to take us out because we need to wrap up.
Yeah.
I want to go hang out with Anima. And you guys can keep going, but I need to wrap up because I love what you guys are doing. This is always fun watching what you guys do.
We're so far in the weeds. I found Rush Limbaugh's golf ball.
Oh no, he didn't. Hey,
that's right. I guess he did play golf because I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, he was a notoriously bad golfer,
and it was resting just on top of. Oh
wow!
Oh my God, I forgot his name.
Look, I don't want to say we're so far in the weeds, but I found part of Jimmy Hoffa.
That is the one. That is.
I knew that was where Martin was thinking too, because that's what I was thinking. Finding a body part that's been missing for 50 years.
Wow. Well, on that note, I just want to thank everyone for listening. I want to thank Fletcher Williams, Anima Confusa, Monkey Chibas, Small Time Republic, because what else are you going to have? And Penny. Yeah, Penny's awesome. And man, who else have we had? Wolverine 626, the Peter Venkman fan site, because Peter Venkman. Black Ass, and MRO, or
I think he's actually black, or if he's digitally black facing.
I could reveal it, but then I'd have to give up my black guy card. Shinatsky.
Shinatsky. Oh, Dragon Roost just popped in. Bye, Dragon.
Oh, Dragon Roost.
And awesome one's here too.
Hey, awesome
yes.
One.
Really? Wow, Kingsport Call. Because he's cool. He's cool like that, And let's see. I've already said
Mrs. A.
Keith is AI. Give me a T-shirt that says that. I'll wear it. I think that's it. Oh, and Orville Nation, because hey, we're all Orville fans around here. And a very special thank you to Kenneth Morales, because Kenneth, you made my day today. Just popping in, saying hi, and yeah, it's been a great show. Read by Nature, what up? So that's been today's show. Mrs. A, how are you?
Before we go, I could do one thing, and then we can end the show. Dark Matters 2 premieres next week, Monday, 7 p.m. with Don Ecker, Mark Sinter, and myself. Mark Sinter got sick and I think he ended up going to the hospital yesterday. So let's everybody send Mark Sinter some good wishes. Hope he feels better, man. He had a rough day yesterday. But here is the new intro for our show on Monday, starting the 14th. Here you go. What do you think?
Impressive.
Nice.
Good.
I noticed a little mistake in there, a little blip.
Yeah, I
I'll
saw it
fix
too.
It pulled up. For some reason, sometimes it'll do that. It won't update the new graphic, so I got to go back in and force it and fix it again. Sometimes you got to force it in.
No. Oh,
When you're slapped, you'll take it and like it.
Okay, Darius Munchausen and Dadman Walking.
Dadman's here.
Forgot to-
It's all right.
I know. I forgot to mention Dadman Walking before. I am so sorry. But D. Bud Martin, Alex Moore. Yeah, just a big thank you to everybody that came in and interacted and had fun. If you can, join us tomorrow because it's Pop
Fantastic
Culture
films
Minefield.
in the morning.
And it's Fantastic Films in the morning at TGIF later on.
Which tomorrow's going to be dedicated to
I think we're going to be talking
William
about
Friedkin.
Yeah. And then Saturday, we have Saturday Morning Fun Time.
I think that's Tom and Jerry this weekend.
Yeah.
I hope you're going to be
Tom
there.
and Jerry.
'Cause
Okay.
I know
Yeah. Tom and Jerry.
Tom loves hanging out with you too. He doesn't like John so much.
Do you think we'll be talking about? And one last thing for those that didn't get the message yesterday, unfortunately, Robbie Robertson passed away.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we talked about it last night on.
I love that song he did, Broken Arrow. One of my favorite songs.
Joe's
He did-
Atmosphere.
It's Rod Stewart's song, and he took it and went in another direction with it. And Peter Gabriel sang backing on that.
Yeah. But I only found out because
dude.
I went downstairs and turned on the news, and they were doing the dedication to him, and I just thought, no way.
Oh, God damn,
So,
dude.
You
Hold
know,
on. I know we're going to get claimed for this, but fuck it.
The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, I think, is his best song with the band. It's one of my favorites. But I just loved him as an artist. You know, solo artist, everything. The guy was just cool. And at least he and the band were put into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So, So
here we go. I'm going to share this just for a second. Is the audio working?
Yeah.
Yes.
Him and Peter Gabriel did this together.
Who else is gonna bring you a broken arrow? Who else is gonna bring you a bottle of rain? Here we go. Moving across the water.
My God, man. We got to say goodbye to that. He also did another one, Peter Gabriel, called Fallen Angel.
Wow. See? Just when you have the ability to go out and see someone like that in person, do whatever you can because we're losing them day by day now.
Well,
you know, we're losing a lot of talented.
We're at the age where we're going to start, we're losing our heroes from when we were growing up.
Oh yeah, it's just terrible. Here's that song. You can hear the Peter Gabriel-esque music right there with the hi-hats and the drums. I love Robbie's voice on this, man. A lot of people don't know Native American.
Yep.
He represented his tribe. Yeah, we'll get in trouble, so I'm going to stop it.
Yeah.
We're going to get ganked. But God, man, it's terrible news, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you knew. I wouldn't have tried. I wouldn't have surprised you like that. But
oh, it's okay, man. I'm a grown man. I'm a
It's
grown
just,
ass man. I'll cry when you're not looking.
But anyway, thank you, Martin, John, of course, my brother Gary. I'm Keith. I've been very, very lucky to be your host this morning, and try to have a better day, everybody.
Live long and prosper.
Take us out. See ya.